grew up in like the between 7th and 10th Street, Tamron, or whatnot, and it was like 6 of us to a household. Parents of 2, but not really functioning great, should I say. Addicted to drugs, like I said before. And basically just, one month you have water, 1 month you won't. 1 month you'll be stealing lights, and 1 month you won't. So it was never a continuous thing. It was always, basically jumping from house to house, eviction, just basically not being on time rent or whatever. And basically that's how we lived. My whole childhood. I met Chris in Urban Youth then. I already knew about him, but it was more to the point where Urban Youth was more to the point where somewhere we could just go and gather and just, basically hear the word and then just hang out with the guys. Honestly, I always wanted to be around Chris. Cause he always inspired me. If it wasn't from basketball, if it wasn't for just being the man of God that he was, he always was positive. I was actually a leader in the youth group at the time. And, family problems going on and lack of money and stuff. And basically the opportunity, like you said, presented itself. It was my sister's baby father, brother. And he came along, he was like, "You want to get some money?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "A lot of money." I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "All you got to do is just come with us and help us rob the bank. Basically be like the driver or whatnot." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll definitely do that for a couple $1,000. I was like, "Man, it's either, get a little money or continue to be poor." So basically, that was what I was struggling with. So I actually went on ahead and tried to get some more money, and so that's when I went on ahead and took the opportunity and went along with the guys. We went in and put everybody on the floor and basically took all the money or whatnot. But as we left the bank or whatnot, Dipax went off and you had smoke everywhere and coughing. And so we get to our getaway car, get in it or whatnot and start heading back to Palm Beach. But as we're going back to Palm Beach, I guess it was a bolo already put out on the car that we were in. And the cops already was following us in another city. They would start following us. And basically, at the time I was a driver too. So they didn't put the lights on yet, but they kept following us. So I knew that they was actually on us, but they didn't want to alert us yet. So as we come up to a light, he was following me then. And I was like, if he followed me, to this far lane, then I know he's actually on us. And then he did. And then that's when the pursuit, because I took off, and that's when the pursuit took its course. We was on a high-speed chase. It was about 100 miles per hour plus high-speed chase, and then the cops threw spike sticks and blew the tires, and I actually bring the car to a halt, and then the 3 guys jump out. I stay in the car, and then the other guys, they take off, and so as they take off, I keep going in the car, and the police end up being right in front of me and draws the guns on me and tell me to get out the car. So I get out the car and they apprehend me. They found all of us guilty, and I got sentenced, and they sentenced me to life suspended after 40 years or whatnot. So meaning that I have to do 40 years and then I suspend the rest of the life sentence, and meaning that I have life probation once I got out. Okay, so I end up serving 16 years because of a juvenile law that they passed. At that moment, it was like God was all I had, all I knew, all I had. Because without me having faith in God, I think I would have been gave up. Because he showed me in many ways, here, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. But it was when I'm gonna get out? I know you're here for me, but when I'm gonna get out? But it's okay, this is not your time yet. The Bible says in due season, and this is not your season. This is not your season. When is it, Lord? That's me, when is it? But then I'm like, Lord God, you know what? Just have your way. I actually want to allow others to see God through me, like see what God have done, you know, and that He get all the glory, because it's not because of me that I'm here, you know, that I'm outside and it's free will. It's because of Him, you know, it's all because of Him. And I want to get an opportunity to others to see that and to show others that, listen, I'm a living testimony of this is how God worked. You know, it wasn't just because of me and because I did what I did. You know, I was a bank robber. I did it. But God allowed me to get that second chance and was like, I forgive you. You know, I know man say this, but this is what I say and this is what I have for you. Me being one of those guys to get that second chance is like, this is what I have planned for you. Like, I know the plans that I have for you. So I was like, I know what it is, Lord God. Just continue to use me in it. And that's just how I feel about that. Like a second chance. I know He got a plan for me.
And this rain too is like annoying. This rain is annoying. Like you could probably hear it in the background.
The rain.
But this is the season, bro. The season. And I can't believe that it's almost the end of the year. You know that like in 2-3 weeks it's 2023, which is a crazy thing. Like I can't even wrap that around my head. Like it's going to be 2023 in about 2.5 weeks. I still haven't started my Christmas shopping. Like typical guy, right? Typical guy, bro, leaving everything for the last minute. But this is the worst thing. I have a niece. Her birthday is this weekend. My dad's birthday is Sunday. And I still haven't gotten anything from my father. And he's like he's a big cologne guy. You ever had a friend or a family member who's a cologne guy?
Yeah.
Like a legitimate cologne guy?
My nephew.
Like a cologne connoisseur that he won't just put on any type of cologne. It got to be like a specific brand, a specific whatever, a specific scent. That's my dad. My pops is just that cologne guy. He'll literally throw cologne that you got at Walgreens or Walmart. Like he's like, nah, I'm not putting that on me. That's just my father.
And you haven't been shopping yet?
I'm probably gonna get him. Like last year or the year before, I got him the what's that Versace cologne? It comes in that weird bottle.
It's blue?
Yes.
Oh.
Dang, I forget.
Oh man, I got it.
Yeah.
I actually got it.
Yeah.
I actually got it.
He likes that Versace one.
I actually do. I don't know the name of it though.
But he likes. I'm gonna get him the Tom Ford because he's been wanting it for a hot minute. So, but that one gets a little up there in price too. But yeah. That's my pops though.
Definitely, man.
He gets the best, man. He gets the best.
Well, I started shopping a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It's crazy how this time of year, like things get chaotic I feel like for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel
pressure.
You feel the pressure and you feel the chaos the minute that you walk in the store. Like I was at the mall on Saturday and I had to walk out. I was like, I can't do this. And I had my 8-year-old nephew with his sister who's 4, and it was just me. And I'm like, nah, we got to get up out of here. Like I don't even have the time to have eyes on you and then eyes on whatever I want to purchase. So it didn't last more than an hour. I had to just walk out of there empty-handed, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna shop online because it's just chaotic. But you said you were doing some shopping.
We were just honestly, we were just strolling, man.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I think we got literally like everything.
Yeah.
That kids want or whatever. So we really was just eyeballing stuff.
Yeah.
Freelancing.
Yeah.
And we just got some stuff like. Just, you like that? You just bought it. Like
window shopping.
Yeah, pretty much. We didn't even go for nothing. Like, we just pulled up at a couple stores and was like, seen some sales and like, okay, we'll take that.
Yeah.
But we already really got everything taken care of.
Bless.
They the main thing they wanted, we got it taken care of. So.
Yeah, I wish I was with you. I can't relate, bro. I'm slacking. I'm lacking out here in these streets.
But a lot because. My wife, she because of me telling her to go ahead and get it out of the way because last minute for what?
Right.
You know, now we gotta order this, order that. If it come late, what we gonna do? They gonna be mad because they ain't got it. So go ahead.
Yeah, it is what it is at this
7,
point.
8 of the month. Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, it's funny too because like last year I was the total opposite. Like last year I had everything by Thanksgiving. I was done shopping, bro. Everybody had a gift. My dad was straight. My brother was straight. The kids were straight. This year, I don't know. This year, I felt like 2022 for me just kind of went like a vapor. Like it just came and went. Like I felt like the kids were out on summer vacation not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But yeah, man, I'm just lacking. But I got some stuff that I ordered on Amazon that they say is coming on the 22nd. So I'm hoping it gets here on time. I mean, the tracking says it's coming on the 22nd, so I'm just gonna rely on that.
Special prayer for that package.
Yeah. Send out a prayer for that package. Let God's favor,
for real,
saturate.
He might have to pull up on his own.
Right.
Person, hey.
Yeah. And us culturally, Hispanics are known to have like this big. You're Dominican. Shouts to Danny. He's running the camera right now tonight. So shouts to Danny. But yeah, he what was I saying? So like you're very familiar with the tradition that Latinos have, right? Like the Noche Buena, like the Christmas Eve dinners, and at midnight you get to open a couple gifts, sometimes all of them, but typically like a couple gifts, and then you wait for Christmas morning to open all of your gifts. But I don't know how it is culturally with you.
Hey, you might get one or two.
Yeah.
You know, if you sweet talk, you might get one or two.
Like Christmas
Eve.
Other
than that, Christmas
Eve. Do you have a Christmas Eve dinner? Like, no dinners.
Nah.
Yeah,
we'll do everything most likely like on that Christmas day.
Okay.
Cook.
Okay.
Eat, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, we have this Christmas Eve dinner. It's almost like a gathering of the continuation of what we had in Thanksgiving. Like you'll have our ham, then we'll have like our Spanish rice. We'll have the pernil, which is pork shoulder.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
I was like, what's that?
Yeah, pernil. Yeah. That's the pork shoulder, which is amazing.
Sometimes I have the whole damn pig on the table.
Facts. The lechon. Have you had lechon before?
Nah.
No, it's really good, bro. You're missing out. Bro.
I gotta pull up.
Yeah.
I gotta see what's going on.
But yeah, man, it's that time of year, you know. And with sports too, like it's you're a football guy. I love football. I think that's America's sport. Gotta be America's sport. A lot of people will debate that no, baseball's America's pastime. Nah, I think baseball had its time.
Yeah.
It's all about football now in this country. I feel like it's all about football. And you're a Dallas fan.
It's all about football.
So let me ask you something. Since you're a Dallas fan, and I hope you're not like one of those delusional Dallas fans, and you're realistic.
You know, you gotta be real. That is the only way to be.
So do you believe in Dak Prescott? Do you believe in him?
I think he can do it.
You think you can do it?
Man, I think he can
you think he's your franchise quarterback for the future? Is he worth those mills that he's getting paid or potentially?
I believe he's better than a lot of stuff out there.
Okay.
So I believe that he can. He can definitely get us there, and he can do it.
I believe he's better than most quarterbacks. I believe that Dak is better than, for example, I believe that Dak's better than Kyle Murray.
Yeah.
From the Cardinals, I do believe that he's better than Baker Mayfield for sure. Yeah. Is he better than Josh Allen? That could be debatable.
Yeah, that
could be debatable
because he have his days and he has his days. So
yeah.
It definitely can be.
Now, you know who's a bad man right now, and he's in that MVP conversation is Joe Burrow, bro.
Yeah, Joe.
Joe Burrow, he's smoking Joe, and he got ice in his veins, man.
Yeah, smoking Joe.
He's icy hot,
because bro. He could crank up at any moment,
any moment.
Because they was in a slump for a minute.
Yep.
But he crank up, man.
Yeah, for sure. So you do believe in Dak?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you do believe in Dak.
Because he's better than the most. He's better than a lot of quarterbacks out there. So why,
So in your division, do you think he's the better quarterback in your division? Or Jalen Hurts is that guy right now?
Right now, Jalen got the hot hand.
Yeah, he got the hot hand.
He got the hot hand.
I mean, they're 12-1 for a reason.
Yeah, he got the hot hand right now.
Yeah, they're 12-1 for a reason. I hate to say it because I'm a Giants fan. And I hate the Eagles. I don't know who I hate more, the Eagles or the Cowboys. I think I hate the Eagles more.
He got the hot hand right now. Though.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is also in that MVP conversation. He's just having an incredible year.
Yeah,
an incredible year, and they're 12-1. mainly because of him. I mean, yes, he has the talent. Yes, they have the secondary. Yes, they have a great O-line, and they're brilliantly coached for sure. I think they are destined to do big things in the playoffs, but anything can happen in the playoffs.
That's when people like
In any given Sunday, any team can win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
That's a lot of pressure in the playoff.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know who this fine gentleman is, his name is Rob. He's actually a friend of mine that I met through Jessica, and Jessica has been on this podcast before. Shouts to Jess, and they're getting married next month. Let's do a small pause here. Hey, so we're gonna be living that marriage life pretty soon. God bless. God bless. And today we're gonna talk about our redemptive stories, our redemption stories. And the reason why I wanted to have Rob on the show is because Rob does have an inspirational, motivational, redemptive story. He has a story where he was living one way and God radically moved him, and now he's living a different way. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we do, as like a little icebreaker things, I like to have polls, like, these little polls like, what do you like, this, that, or this, and why? So we're going to have I have a couple of poll questions for you, and they're really easy. It's rapid fire questions for you, so that way we can break the ice and then get into the meat and potatoes of our conversation. So you ready, Rob?
Go ahead.
You ready for this rapid fire?
Go shoot.
Poll questions? All right. So you're familiar with hip hop. You listen to hip hop, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Do you like hip hop music?
Yes,
and stuff like that? All right. Do you like old school, new school, or what's current out right now? What do you like?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything?
I ain't gonna.
Okay, because I'm going to hit you with some old school stuff, so let's see how well you're going to respond to it. And this is just totally your opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. It's what Rob believes to be true.
Let's go.
All right. So between a lyricism, if you had to pick who's a better lyricist, is it Young Jeezy or Rick Ross?
Jeezy.
Jeezy?
Jeezy got punchlines.
Yeah.
You got it.
You got it?
You got it.
Okay, because a lot of people would say Ross because
Jeezy got a lot.
he got that Miami swag. He does preach a Miami swag lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he does do lifestyle. But I'm kind of there with you. I think Young Jeezy has more realism in his lyrics.
Yeah.
He talks about real stuff. Not to say that Rick Ross doesn't talk about that, but Rick Ross is about the flash. About his Maybachs that he drives or doesn't drive, that gets driven around. So yeah, I do believe that Young Jeezy, as far as lyricism, I think he has a little bit over Rick Ross.
Yeah, the way he just, I don't know, the way he just put it together. Like,
yeah,
his punchline.
and he has classic albums though.
Yeah,
the Thug Motivation album.
Yeah,
I think,
all of them.
Yeah, Thug Motivation. Yeah, Thug Motivation is considered by many a classic hip hop album. All right, so we got one out of the way. Okay, if you had to ask yourself, your younger self, and give your younger self advice, what would you give? What would you give them, as far as advice? Your younger self.
I have to say, now I have to say, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you always got.
Okay.
Got that?
Yeah.
If you do what you've always done,
you're
gonna get what you always got.
It's almost like you whatever you reap, you're gonna sow.
Definitely.
Yeah, whatever
Definitely.
you reap, you sow. That's a good one. Love that one. All right, we're gonna get to a little bit to fashion. Are you into fashion? Do you like fashion?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give you some brands, and you're just gonna go with one or the other. Louis Vuitton or Gucci?
I'm a Gucci guy.
Gucci guy?
Yeah, I'm a Gucci guy.
Okay.
I'm a Gucci guy.
Gucci guy? Got it. All right, we're gonna go to the next one. Rose gold or gold? as far as your jewelry? Because I see
that,
I see
yeah.
that you're flossing right now.
You know, I think if I can afford rose gold, it'd probably be rose gold.
Rose gold.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
But you know, gold and do.
okay.
You know.
All right, we're gonna go back to hip hop, and now it's groups. We're gonna go with groups.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing the Wu-Tang shirt because I'm repping Wu-Tang right now.
Okay.
So out of the greatest groups around, is it Wu-Tang or Outkast? And you're probably gonna be biased because you're a Southern boy.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird because I didn't really
You didn't get into Wu?
Yeah, I didn't really get into the Wu
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's more of like a New York-based thing. I'm from New York. I grew up in
Yeah.
New York, so I grew up listening to New York hip-hop all day, every day.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I can't really say I can't really speak on the Wu because I haven't really.
Yeah. But Outkast legends, legendary. Outkast
guys,
legendary.
yeah.
They definitely opened the door for Southern rap and paved the way for a Gucci Man to even come about, a Lil Jon to come about, a Young Jeezy to come about. So they definitely paved the way. Andre 3000 and Big Boy, they were definitely trailblazers for that genre. So for sure. All right, last one, real easy. Oh shoot, where did I have it? Okay, so destinations for vacations. Would you do Dubai or Tulum, Mexico?
Yeah, it'd be Dubai. I want to go. Yeah, I want to go to Dubai right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
I want to go to Dubai anyway. I done seen a lot. Too many pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to make my way.
Dubai looks it just looks exotic.
Yeah.
From the restaurants to the landscape to the way of life.
I actually had a sister-in-law stay in Dubai.
Yeah.
She was going to school.
The skyscraper, like I think that the foundations, like building wise, like their skyscrapers are crazy, bro. Like engineer wise, they got it. They're shouts to the people out in Dubai, bro. They're definitely doing big things out there. And I would love to go to Dubai. Yeah, it's pretty dope. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. So you passed. You passed. Yes, sir.
Big up.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and have the convo. Again, everyone's story is different, but I feel that your story is an incredible story. So let's talk about a little bit of like the origin story of how Rob started up and things like that. So if you want to take us in the beginning, and things of that nature, I guess we can just start there.
I was giving y'all a little bit of it
earlier. Yeah, your early years.
Yeah, actually, like I was telling you, I was like, I grew up. The way I grew up, it was like basically poor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's poor or whatnot. And when you have a lot, we had a little, but not. We had enough to get us by. And mom in the house, dad in the house, but it wasn't functioning well. Like I told you before, it was mom on drugs, dad on drugs, so it was like fend for yourself type of time. They're there, but it's not like they're there.
And how many siblings did you have?
At that moment, it was like 6 of us in the house.
Gotcha.
It was like 6 of us, bro, like a 2-bedroom. So, mom them room, then this, share that room. And
right.
linger on out in the living room.
Yeah.
So it was 6 of us, and my mom and dad, they were there, but it wasn't there. So it was like my older sister. That's what we had to look up to. Like she was there, the one that took care of us, and when we needed something, she was the one we called on.
Right. Make sure y'all was straight.
Definitely. So that's how that went, and it went on for a while like that. It was never like consistency. Like we was always moving from place to place, eviction here, eviction there, because they supporting the habits,
right,
and not
the family
keeping us, with a roof over our head and stuff like that. So there was a lot going on. There was a lot definitely going on. So I seen a lot, been through a lot. Can't pay water bill. People coming to cut your water off.
Right.
So now you living with no water. Dad got to go out there and try to finesse the water pipe or something. Get it to run a little bit so we can, take showers and stuff. Same with lights. Lights cut off. You don't pay bill, lights couldn't cut off. So went through that for a while, man.
You know, been through that for a while, and still trying to look out for, you know, my younger siblings and stuff like that. You know, because basically I was the second. It was my sister, then it was me.
You were the second oldest?
Yeah, I was the second oldest.
So you were the man.
All together, it's like 12 of us, though.
Yeah.
You know, but at that moment, at the time, it was like, in the household, like 6 of us.
Mm.
So, me trying to be, you know, big brother, look out for everybody, make sure everybody good, it's great.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And, you know, I was attending my youth group at the time, too, as well. And, you know, they'll come get us. My youth pastor, founder of my youth group, they'll come get us. And we'll go hang out and play ball. I love to play basketball, you know. I love the ball. Mm-hmm. But now I'm kind of old, so I can't play no basketball.
The knees aren't given?
Nah, I just came off an injury, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, messed up my knee.
Mm.
You know, yeah, they'll come get us. And we'll go ball, you know, share the word after we all hang out, gather up, share the word, you know. So basically, my foundation, I knew, you know.
Yeah.
I knew God.
Right.
You know, but as you get older, you experience other things.
Mm.
And you see other things. So you get enticed by other things.
Fast.
You see things, money, cars, clothes, the girls, whatever the case may be. You see that.
Yeah.
So now it's like, I can't get it. I want it. You know, I can't get it. So it's like it's an empty spot in you.
Yeah, like a void.
I want that. Yeah,
like an empty
I want
void.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I got older, I'm seeing that, you know, going to school, high school, working at the same time. But that working ain't doing what I needed to do.
Right.
You know, because I see my homeboy, them, they got it. You know,
Yeah.
They walk around big chains on and, you know, pocket full of money. And,
Right.
You know, and I'm still over here in public trying to
make
ends meet.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so I'm like, okay. So as I grew older, man, I actually was, you know, a leader in my youth group, and basically my youth pastor was like, man, you know, you consider me as a leader. The kids look up to you, this and that, you know. And I liked my youth group, but I really just stopped going. Like,
Right.
I fell back from it.
Yeah.
Because it was on some, let me do my thing.
Right. Yeah.
Let me see
what's out there. Yeah.
You know, I know this. You know, let me just see what's going on over here.
Right.
And linked up with some guys. I was 16 at the time. 16.
Mm-hmm.
Linked up with some guys. Well, I was 16, 17. Linked up with some guys, and I was like, man, you know, kicking it with them, and you know, they smoking weed and hanging out, doing what they do. And you know me, I'm like, oh, I like that. I see that, I like that, okay. They're my homeboys. You know, some of them was, you know, related to me.
Right.
Or whatnot, but some of them wasn't, you know, friends of mine. But it was just my friends now because I liked what they was doing.
Right.
So,
so you got acquainted with them, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we calling on the basis, you know, come pick me up and hanging out now. So they was into robbing banks and stuff.
Okay.
You know.
We call that up north stick-up boys.
Yeah. That was what it was. It was some stick-up boys.
Yeah.
And you know that they come in with it. They come in with a whole bunch of money, and you know, like I said, they got it.
Yeah.
So I'm enticed. I'm like, yeah, man, what's up? You know, and they like, oh, you want to come? Yeah, I ain't never seen that type of money. What I got to do?
Yeah.
I want to go. If I'm getting that type of money, yeah. So,
right.
You know, me being young and foolish.
Right.
Yeah, I go. So I go. You know, and I went like once or twice actually, and came away with some money. So you get away with it one time, and I was like, whoa, dang. So anyway, we go back, and but it's like the Bible says, you know, it's warning coming before destruction. So it's like it was so many warnings
right
before this time. It was so many warnings. Like a lot of people was telling me, like, you know, just come spend the night over here, come chill over here, like. And I'm like, nah, I got something to do tomorrow, man. I can't go chill with y'all, you know.
Yeah.
And not only that, before that, I see my youth pastor like 2 days before. Now, mind you, I just told you I haven't been going to youth group.
Right.
So I see him. So he was like, Rob, what's up? Where you been? I'm like, man, I just been, school and working and stuff and, not telling him what's going on. So he see what's going on. I got guys, smoking weed and they hanging out. So he see what's going on. So he was like, because every year my youth group does a Christmas store. They give out toys and stuff to the community.
Right.
By the way, shout out, man. Urban Youth Impact.
Yes, sir.
That's my youth group or whatnot, and I still attend to that today. And that's who he's actually marrying me. My youth pastor.
What's his name?
Chris Tress.
Chris Tress. Because I know Alonzo used to mentor a couple kids over the years for Urban Youth.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of a guy named Alonzo.
I probably gotta see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my youth group, man.
Yeah.
And, that's actually the pastor of my church, Chris Tress.
Shouts to them.
Yeah. Bow Down Ministries. That's definitely what's going on. That's my church. But yeah, he actually seen me.
And now he saw you 2 days prior of you
going
and committing these things.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And he was like, I want to see you, man. He was like, I want you to come over to Christmas store.
Right.
And I want to talk to you.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, I'll be there. So I had intentions on going or whatnot. So my mom, the day of, I go home and my mom was getting dressed to go to the Christmas store because she goes. And I'm like, Mom, I'm going to go with you. And she was like, oh, okay. I'm getting dressed, so be ready when I get ready. So she get dressed, get ready to go. I'm still chilling. So she's like, I'm not waiting. I'm finna go. So I'm like, all right, I just drive. I never go. I never go. But I know if I would have went, he would have taught me out of,
going out.
Yeah. He would have taught me out of any little ordeal that I was finna go get into. So we go. We actually go to the bank 2 days.
2 days later, you go and you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So actually everything was terrible.
Really?
When we went, still in the car and everything was just all bad. It was all bad.
All jacked up.
It was all bad.
Not according to plan.
Yeah. So it get to the point where I get so mad. I'm like, man, look, I'm heading home.
Right.
I don't have time. It's like me and 3 other co-defendants, 3 other guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's not going right. It's obviously something telling us, hey, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
So I'm like, man, I'm heading home. So I get in the car. I'm driving home. So on the way home, one of my co-defendants, he sees a car. Let's go get the car, man. Let's just go ahead and get it and go on, do what we need to do.
Right.
All right. I turn the car around. I go back, get the car, go ahead back to the bank. Do what we do. On the way out, dye packs go off. Go in, rob the place. On the way out, dye packs go off. Smoke everywhere. Oh, man. Smoke. Coughing. It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So, I'm only 17 now. Mind you, I'm the oldest. I was 17. The other guy was like 16.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I never been in trouble now. I never been in trouble. It's my first time ever being in trouble. Like,
right.
I never even did nothing like to be in trouble.
You were just rolling with the wrong dudes.
Yeah. I haven't done nothing even to be in trouble. Like,
right.
All I do is work, school, or at my youth group.
Right.
So how did I get off to this?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So
we go, and that all the episode that happens. So now we let's just get home. Jump into the other car, the getaway car. Well, we leave the getaway car, jump into our car,
right,
and head home. We don't make it. I get in a high-speed chase in another city, leaving that city we were just in.
Right.
Getting high speed in another city. Everything's going wrong. and they throw spike sticks out,
Yeah.
flat the tire.
It'll do
It's
that.
going on. It's going on right now.
Yeah.
Everybody panicking. I'm driving now.
Right.
I'm driving, so everybody panicking and this and that. So obviously, we get apprehended.
Mm-hmm.
We get caught, apprehended, and taken in. Well, my youth pastor, they come, they see me. My mom, my family, they come see me. They're like, "What's going on? Like, what happened?" And I'm like, "Man, you know nothing. We just got caught."
Yeah.
And it was like, "Where did this come about?" Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "I don't know, man. You know." So that's what I'm telling my mom. So my youth pastor gets on the visitation screen when he come visit me,
Right.
and he's like, "What's going on, buddy?" Exact words. And I'm like, "I'm good. What's going on?" He was like, "You're not good."
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." He was like, "I can see it all over your face. You ain't good." Once he said that, I bust out crying, bro. I was like, I couldn't hold it anymore. It was like destiny to happen. I couldn't hold it anymore. I was like, man. I said, it's all bad, man. I'm like, man, it's all bad. Like, it's terrible. Like, I'm like, man, you know, I don't know what to do. Like, we here.
Right.
So he was like, man, you know, just calm down. We're going to get you out of there, this and that, this and that. Well, anyway, we stay in the county. We go to trial.
Mm-hmm.
We go to trial. We actually go to trial. All go to trial together. There's 4 of us.
Right.
We all go to trial together.
Yeah.
Get found guilty. Get found guilty in trial. So each and every one of us get sentenced at a later date, separately.
Were you guys being tried as
Adults.
juveniles or adults?
Adults.
Okay,
Adults.
gotcha.
We actually went in as juveniles, but got direct filed
To
adults.
To adults, right.
to adults because the crime was
It's heinous.
Yeah.
In their eyes, yeah.
So, went to trial. We lost trial, and sentencing time.
Mm.
Each one of us went separately. So, as they went, I turned 18 in the county. So when I turned 18, I went to the adults.
Yeah.
I left the juveniles and went to the adults.
Yeah.
And so all of us went to sentencing separately.
Right.
So as they go to sentencing, guys from my pod that was in my pod with me actually went to court that day probably.
Right.
And it was like, oh, you know, one of my co-defendants at the party would be like, oh, you know, Rob, this and that. And they're like, yeah, you ain't down with us. Oh, tell them we got life. I'm like, what the? So they'll come to me like the guys that come back from court or whatnot. And I'm like, oh yeah, I just seen your co-defendant. He told me to tell you he got life. Now, bro, the first one that went and then the dude came and told me that, I was like, stop lying. Like,
yeah.
He was like, nah, for real. I just was on the elevator with him. He told me to tell you that he got life.
Wow.
I was like, are you serious?
Huh.
And people was like, yeah. I'm like, no, man, this can't be.
Right.
Bro, when I tell you, I got that news, I actually ran to my cell, and jumped on my bunk and started crying.
Yeah. Shoot, I would
I was
too.
like, it's over. I was like, it's over.
Life is over.
I was like, it's over, bro. I was like, so all the guys are kind of like, try to come console me, tell me, yeah, man, you good, you ain't gonna get that. You ain't never been in trouble.
Yeah.
Because mind you, my Cody's, they've been in trouble since 9 years old.
Right. So they have a history. Yeah.
So
crazy.
they're like, oh, you never been in trouble. You ain't gonna get that. This and that. I'm like, I hate you, man. But I said, these people ain't playing.
Mm.
You ain't kill nobody. This and that. You just.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're in the mercy of the court.
Basically.
At that point.
So I'm like, now my charge carry.
It said that movie recording it stopped automatically.
Just press the button again.
I don't know when it stopped.
It idles out, so just press it when. But we're good.
We're good.
So go ahead.
So I'm like, my charge carries is a PPL. That means punishable by life.
By life, yep.
So
Because of the statute that Okay, got it.
So it falls up on the PBL. So it's a life sentence, level 7.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, so my next co-defendant go to sentencing. He send word back. Oh, we got life. I was like, bro, why they keep telling me this? Like, why y'all keep just write me or something? Dang, so it was like, bro, like, every time I hear it, I'm busting out crying. Like,
Yeah.
it's terrible. Now, mind you, one of my co-defendants was turning 18.
Oh, okay.
He turned 18, so he came down there where I was at. So I actually could see him through the plexiglass. He's in the next pot over. So I see him, I'm like, he actually go to court. So when he go to court, he comes back, I'm like, what's up? I can see him through the plexi.
Yeah.
What's going on? He was like, shaking his head. I'm like, what's up? Like, what?
What's going on, man? Give me the tea.
Like, the man throw up the L.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, I should have been like, what, a lot of it? I'm like, no, just kidding. But I was like, what? He was like, yeah. He was shaking his head like, yeah. I'm like, stop playing. He was like, for real, telling me through the glass, sign language. I'm like, I shake my head. I go, normal routine. Go to the bunk and I cry. Oh man, I had just turned 18, bro. I was like, damn, life is over, bro. I was like,
Yeah.
damn. So anyway, my time to get sentenced. So I go to court. So when I go to court, everybody's saying their pieces. They saying theirs, state saying theirs. My lawyer saying his. So the judge was like, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I had 4 charges. I had robbery with a firearm,
Right.
burglary of conveyance, grand theft, and resisting officer without violence.
Oh, because you fled.
Yeah, so they was like, oh, the grand theft because we stole the car, the
Right.
burglary of conveyance because you broke in it. So that's why I got that. So I was like, damn.
So they were stacking the cards already.
Yeah. So it was like, I was in the lose-lose. So I'm
Right.
like, man, whatever it is. So we all in the trial. I'm saying we all in the sentencing.
Yeah.
Family there, everybody, youth pastor, everybody's there. So I get up. The guy was like, judge like stand, for the sentencing or whatever. And I'm like, man, the state actually went up. When the state went up, the state made their recommendation. The state was like, Your Honor, well, I know this carry a life sentence, but he was like, on the state behalf, I'm gonna ask for 20 to 25 years. So when she said that, my lawyer jumped up and was like, Your Honor, if he have to do that, 20, 25 years, let's split it. Let's give him 10 in and then, the rest of it on probation.
Right.
Because he's young. He's 18, 10 years, 28,
And you don't have a
give him
history.
yeah. So.
Well, a criminal history.
Criminal history.
Yeah.
So the judge was like, all right. Looked like he taking into consideration, I thought.
For like a split sentence?
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, okay, I might be on to something. The judge was like, well, this causes for greater punishment than that. So this is what we're going to do. So I was like, damn. I just knew it was over.
Yeah.
When he said that, I knew it was over.
Right.
So the guy was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. He started from like the lesser charge all the way to the max. He was like, for the first, resisting officer without violence, he was like, oh, you did enough county time. You've been in the county long enough.
So you get time served.
Yeah, so he gave me time served. He was like, the burglary of the grand theft auto, I'm going to give you 5 years. The burglary of conveyance, the grand theft, I'm going to give you 5 years. The burglary of conveyance, I'm going to give you 5 years.
So it's 10.
And then he was like, for the robbery with a firearm, I'm going to sentence you to life.
What?
He's like, I'm going to sentence you to life. He was like, I'm going to suspend a portion of that. He's like, so after you serve 40 years, you can get out. And then you'll serve the rest of it on probation.
On probation.
So he gave me 40 years incarceration and then life probation.
Wow.
Bro, when he said that, you should have heard the audience. the audience, like, everybody screamed, like,
Yeah.
crying it all, man.
Crazy.
I couldn't do nothing but stand up there and, like, I just put my head down and, like, boo-hoo cry.
Right.
Yeah, it was terrible. I was like, oh, man, like, so all my family in the back, they're like, man, we're gonna get you out of here, this and that.
And so how does a life probation work? I know that sounds... That
like, you on life probation, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah, you on life probation for the rest of your life, I guess.
For the rest of your life? Like, you can never appeal that? Or
maybe when you're out. Yeah, maybe when you get out and you serve like a couple years, I guess. You can probably like go ask for to be reduced or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. So that's what I'm guessing.
So that's how that was your final sentencing of 4 years incarceration and a life probation?
40 years.
40 years?
40 years
of probation.
No. 40 years incarceration.
Oh, 40 years incarceration and
then
life probation. And how much time did you do?
I did 18 years.
You did 18?
One day, that's a lot. I did 16 and 3 months. 16 years and 3 months.
Wow.
Because the juvenile law came out.
Okay.
So the juvenile law came out in 2010. And stated that any juvenile with a life sentence had to be brought back and basically like
almost like retried?
Not retried, but basically like seeing have they been rehabilitated, matured, or whatnot. Because basically they were saying that giving a juvenile life sentence and just throwing their life away, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Because he was 16, 17 when he committed his crime.
Right.
10 years later, he may be a whole different person.
Correct.
So ain't no need to give him 10 years, I'm saying life sentence and then just throw him away.
Right.
So let's bring him back in 10 and see how he been rehabilitated, see how he matured.
Right.
And maybe give him a shot.
Yeah.
To be free again.
Right.
So in 2010, that law came out. So I actually filed for that. They denied me. They told me that I didn't have a life sentence. They was like, you got a number of years. You don't have a life sentence. So I was like, what? But mind you, throughout my incarceration, I've been filing motion after motion after motion, trying to get my time off of me.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get this time back.
Yeah. Were you getting any game time?
Yeah, I was getting game time.
Game time? Okay.
As well, but
I
had 10 years mandatory.
My brother's getting game time too. He's in Martin Correctional right now.
Yeah.
Ashley
was there too.
Doing a 10-year bid right now.
Yeah, Ashley was there too. Yeah, man. And
so you were filing motions. Denial.
Like, it was terrible. They kept denying me. And then me being a man of God, I'm like, man, Lord God, what's up?
Right.
Like, when is my time?
Yeah.
You know, like, is this my time? You know, and the Bible let us know that, you know, in due season. You know, so me going through what I was going through, I'm like, Lord God, I know it's a season. It's 4 seasons. Yeah. I'm like, so every time I'm like, Lord, is this my season?
Right.
This is my season? This is my season? When is it?
Yeah.
So years passing, you know. So, but never lost faith in God, though. I always knew.
While you were in.
Yeah. I always knew, though. Like, even when I first fell, I'm like, man, Lord God, it's something. It's something that you're trying to show me. It's something that you want me to know because, Lord, I haven't done anything that heinous to be in prison for the rest of my life.
Right, yeah.
My first offense, like, Lord God, I feel like I haven't. I haven't did anything for that. I say, obviously, Lord God, it's something that you're trying to show me. Or something. Is it somebody you want me to meet? What is it? You know? So as I go through my my time in prison, and filing these motions, is this the time? Father, denied. I'm like, dang, Lord. But you know what? Lord God, you in total control. Yeah. So let me fall back. You know, now every time I get denied, I have an opportunity to be like, Lord God, why you not answering my prayers? Why you not hearing me?
Right.
That's my opportunity.
Yeah.
But me being me, I'm like, Lord God, I know. I got faith in you. I know what you're going to do. I know what you got going on. It's something, because I have faith in you. I know that you got something going on, but I can't see it. But I know it's something going on. So let me fall back. You know, continue to do what it is that I need to do to praise you. So I fall back. You know, so 2011, come, laws started changing. 2012, come, the laws come out, and it solidifies the whole new law that they put out about the juvenile, saying that any juvenile with 20 years or more have to be brought back and resentenced. So mind you, they were screaming that I had a number of years, the 40.
Yeah.
Now the law stating that 20 or better come back.
Yeah.
So that applied to me.
Right.
So I actually had a guy help me to write my motion.
Yeah.
And we wrote it, and then it came back. It was granted.
Nice.
So when it came back, I'm like, Lord, is this my time?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've been praying. I've been like, Lord, you know, show me. Let me know what's up.
Yeah.
So it came. And they granted it. So I was like, Lord God, this is it. You ready for me? So that's not the end though. When when I got granted, I went back.
Yeah.
I needed a lawyer. So I called my sister, you know, let her know that I was talking to a lawyer, and I feel like she was the one that I needed to get, and this and that. So my sister talked to her, and she was like, yeah, you know, she sounds like, you know, she for you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I said, sis, she want to get paid though. I was like, I ain't got no money. You know, so it's like God work though. The lawyer was like, look, I usually charge people $10,000
Wow.
to take their case. But she was like, but I see you got all these good people behind you, so I'm gonna charge you $6. And I was like, okay, I appreciate it, you know. So she was like, I'm gonna need $2,500 up top, up front, to even put my name on your motion. So I was like, okay. So here go me. I'm like, I don't know where I'm getting this money from. But,
Yeah.
But mind you, I didn't tell y'all this part. I got fed up at one point, trying to get a lawyer.
Right.
And I prayed. I was like, Lord, look, I'm tired of just trying to do this and trying to do that to get a lawyer. I'm like, man, if I'm gonna get a lawyer, Lord God, you gonna provide me with a lawyer. If I'm not, then I won't have a lawyer. Then if I don't need a lawyer, then don't provide it.
Right.
Don't even worry about it.
Wow.
But Lord God, I'm not doing nothing. If I'm gonna have a lawyer, you gonna provide a lawyer for me. The lawyer came. She said she wanted $6,000. My sister gave me $2,000. I called around a couple places, tried to get the money up. I got like $300 up somewhere. My sister gave me the rest. She gave me actually $2,200. So the lawyer signed her name on my motion and took my case.
Yeah.
My youth group, my sister, she like posted it.
Yeah.
You know, let people know, you know, that I needed money for a
What
lawyer.
was going on,
and
yeah.
that. So my youth group, my youth pastor, actually called my sister and was like, Shanta, we got $1,000 for Robert or whatnot, and you can come get it, you know, whatever, we'll write you a check, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what, 35, right?
Yep.
So look how God worked. 2 days later, my youth pastor called my sister again and was like, we need you to come pick up the check for the rest of the money that I needed to get a lawyer. So I called home. I'm like, sis, what's going on? She was like, nah. She was like, you got all the money. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you got all the money. I was like, what you mean? I need like 3,000 or something. I need like, what I need?
Yeah.
2,500 something, right?
Yeah.
She was like, nah, you got it all. She was like, actually, you got $200 extra. I was like, what? She was like, yeah. She was like, Chris called me and wrote me a check out for all the money that you needed. I was like, you can't be serious. She was like, yeah. But it brought back that memory. I was like, I did pray and ask God if I was going to have a lawyer that he was going to provide for the lawyer.
Look at God.
And I was like, whoa. I got off the phone with her.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to call you back.
Right.
I got off the phone with her. I was like, whoa. I would have prayed and
Yeah.
cried. I was like, Lord, you did it. I said, you said that. You know, I asked you to do that and you really showed up and showed out, like for real, for real.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, dang, that's crazy. How you just
Yeah.
work it out like that. God is real, bro. Like,
Yeah.
for real, for real. So, I get the lawyer. She was surprised. She was like, I was surprised to have all the money right now. She was like, but let's go ahead and focus on getting you out of here now. So I tell her, I said, listen, I said, come, this is what I want you to do. I said, I've been in at that moment, I was like 13 years in. And I was like, look, I said, I want you to go to the state with. Go to the state and tell them that you, that I take 20 years. I take 20 years right now. And we ain't got to go to the hearing or none of that. So she was like, all right. Because I was like, listen, the only reason I'm telling you this, because this is what they were trying to give me. Remember I told y'all at sentencing, they recommended 20 to 25 years.
Right.
So I said, this is what they recommended at first. So I said, if you go to them now, they should give this to you. But I said, I don't want the whole 20. I said, tell them to give me what I've done in and give me the rest of the probation.
Right.
So that means they'll set me free right there. So she was like, okay, I go to him with that. But still it said altogether you still get 20 years out of it.
Right.
She was like, I go to him with that. So she go to him a couple of days later. She come back, a conference call or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I got good news, I got bad news. I'm like, what's going on? She was like, well.
Give it to me straight.
Yeah. Right? She was like,
talk to me nice.
For real. She was like, well, they agreed to the 20 years. I was like, okay, that's what's up. She's like, but it's not the way you want it. I'm like, so talk to me. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, they want the whole 20. I'm like, whoa. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Because in my heart, I know I can get better.
Yeah.
Like with all my mitigating factors and stuff.
Right.
I knew I can get better because like my whole time in prison, bro, like all I've been doing is like taking classes and getting certificates and just really like just bettering myself the whole time. Staying out of trouble, all that,
Yeah.
So my mitigating factors is based on what this law is based on.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I go to the hearing, I can get better. So I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna do it.
So you wholeheartedly believe that you could get a better deal?
Like, definitely. So, and even when she said it, she was like, I believe you can get better. She was like, if you don't take these 20, she was like, I believe you could go in to the hearing and get better. That's what my lawyer told me. And I was like, okay, that's what we'll do.
Right.
We'll go to the hearing.
Okay.
So, we actually go to the hearing, and the judge, it was like a whole, like, damn that day, we was in there, just basically talking back and forth to state, us. And the judge was like, okay, give me a day, give me some time to look over the stuff that, that was presented today on both sides. And I was like, all right, sent me back in the county. I waited for about, I think they set it off for about 30 days or something like that.
Right.
So.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
You usually give them 30
days or so. Yeah, it was about 30. So I go to sentencing. Mm-hmm. So in my head, I'm like, dang, am I gonna get the 20 when I'm asking for it? Split how I want it or what? So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and see. So we in here. So the judge like, I viewed everything, this and that, I seen this and that. He gave me some words. He was like, Mr. Vann, look, I know you've done a lot. You've been in here, you've matured. Mm-hmm. I truly believe that. You've rehabilitated yourself. I truly believe that.
Right.
I'm like, okay, it's going good for me. I'm going to get what I'm looking for. So he was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to vacate the life sentence. So he took the life sentence away. And he was like, look, I'm going to re-sentence you to 18 years. Now, mind you, I got 13 in already. So he was like...
So you were saying that he owed you 5?
Yeah, I owed him 5. So he was like, I'm going to give you the 18 years, but I'm also put you on probation. Follow the 18, you're going to be on 12 years probation. So
12
I'm
years.
Like, that's a 30. I'm like, that's a 30. Altogether, that's a 30 piece.
That's 30 piece.
So I'm like,
mathematically
Okay,
it wasn't making sense.
Nah.
Because that's 30. That's
Yeah,
30.
that's 30.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
30.
so I'm asking for that. So he's like, so I'm like, okay. I go to doing numbers in my head. So I'm like, I got 13 in game time. I push it to this and that, and I'm eligible for work release
Right.
within like
Because you have to
a
do
year.
Yeah, because I think you have to.
You can go like with 36 months or something like that. 2 years, something
or 75% of your completed sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put all that in the fact that I'm like, okay, I'll be at work release within probably 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, I can go for that.
Yeah.
So that's what he gave me. So after that, I couldn't even like resist it. I was like so happy that I got that life sentence was off of me.
Yeah.
So
it felt like a burden was lifted off of you.
Man, definitely. My family, they was happy for, and I was like, I was happy. I was bittersweet. It was bittersweet thing.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to just go home then.
Yeah.
But after that, when I got sentencing, I was like, okay, I adjust myself slowly to re-enter society.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, and I was like, hey, thank God for that though, because the job that I'm on now, that's the job I was on while I was at work release. So because I work for Mouse Solar.
Okay.
So I met them while I was on work release, and I just basically kept at it when I came home.
Wow.
So now I'm
So they gave you like an opportunity
definitely
to grow
because they actually had like guys from the halfway house working there,
right?
And they kept some of the guys and let go of some of the guys,
right?
But I actually was one of the guys that they seen took interest in and kept me.
They saw the potential in
definitely,
you, and they saw you more as an asset.
One of my supervisors that I was working for then actually took me in and was like, man, look, I see, you're a workaholic. You like what you do.
Yeah.
I like what you do. He was like, so basically he took me and I followed him from site to site.
So he was like a mentor for you.
Basically.
Yeah.
And now, that he basically, promoted me. Now I'm a whole like supervisor out there, over the whole like site.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. And it's a damn good job. And but it just I got work though, man. Like, and bringing in good money.
Wow.
So I can't complain, man. God bless me like tremendously.
Amen.
Like literally, like he in every area, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's been showing me things.
Yeah, I think it's incredible, and thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That's such a. I know that was a short version of the story,
Yeah,
but still, I mean that.
Had to chop it up.
Yeah, to chop it up,
Yeah.
but from me listening to you speak and you talk about how you never lost faith in God while you were in prison, and I felt for me anyway, I felt like, wow, here's a man who was looking at a life sentence, who was put and discarded and put behind bars, and you lost your freedom. But while you were in there, God was liberating you.
Definitely.
And that's such a crazy full circle moment for you, because yes, you were state property. Yes, you were in prison. Yes, you lost your freedom, but God was still working for you.
When you can't see it.
Yeah.
When you can't see it, it's like, he working, but you can't see. If you knew the future, you wouldn't pray.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have faith.
You wouldn't have faith. Definitely. You wouldn't have faith.
Yeah.
So, like, me not knowing, it's like, okay, Lord God, my faith is in you. Like, you all I got.
Yeah.
And it been many nights where I'm on the side of the bed, on the side of the bunk.
Right.
Crying out to God, like, God, when is my time? Like, you get tired, you get fed up sometimes. Like, hey, you want to get out of here.
Right, exactly.
And I got a whole sentence, a whole 40 years above me. But it's like, I never lost that hope. And guys, when they do get incarcerated, that's what they do.
They lose hope.
They lose hope. Even with a sentence like me, like what I had, should I say, coming in at the tender age of 18, 17, with a whole life sentence. Like, guys they just lose their hope. They just lose it.
Yeah, and
then
that's how they become institutionalized. And they just accept the fact that they're just a DC number and they're a prisoner and they're just gonna make a life out of this prison life.
That's something I never did. That's something
Yeah.
I never got to the point where I was just locked in there.
Yeah.
My mind was locked in there. I may have been there physically, but my mind was never there.
Yeah, because you don't want to put your mind in a place where you are a slave to your own thoughts, because that's the worst thing us as men, period, can even do, is become slaves to our own negative thinking.
Yeah.
And a lot of us do become slaves of our own negative thinking, and that buries you, man. That hinders your growth, and that actually derails you from where God wants you to be. You know. So it's an incredible story, a redemption story that you have, because you never gave up.
No.
You've always placed your faith in God. Like, you always believe that if God's going to provide, He will provide.
Definitely.
Period.
That's
if God says it, He settles it.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
If God says it, He settles it, man.
And that's on a scale to like, when with that, it's been small things, like while I was there in prison, like small things, like He just showed Himself, like He showed Himself in just small areas. It don't even got to be like on a large scale. It can be just small things, like, you know. And that's just how God works, man. You know, you just gotta be knowing that you know,
Right.
That's
I think also too, it's all relational, because I think a lot of us, me included, we get caught up in like especially early on when in my faith early on, it was religion based, like, oh, I had to do this and I had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like works, like as if works is going to get me closer to heaven. But the Bible says that you can't work your way up to heaven. You know what I'm saying? So I think with God has a way of definitely revealing Himself in little areas of our lives, and also revealing Himself in a big mighty way where you can radically change and say, well, this is not it. I got to go here because this is where God wants me to go. Mm-hmm. And I think God works in that mysterious kind of mystic way that we can't understand His understanding. Yeah. Like our simple minds can't fathom what God has in store for us, because He operates outside of real time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So even when we feel that he's late and he's running late, He's never going to be late, because He's always on time. Definitely. He's a timeless God. So He's always going to be on time. And I think He was always on time with you. I think that he had a favor over you, and he actually had a hand over your life from the minute you got apprehended to the minute you got out of prison. Mm-hmm. I think that He's still touching your life to this day. You know?
That. And it's like, with me and my faith in God, is like, it may be delayed, but it's never denied though.
Ooh, that's a bar right there.
Definitely. It may be delayed, but it's never denied.
Yeah, wow.
Because like, for it's me getting out of prison, motion after motion after motion. Mm-hmm. It wasn't my time. Right. It was delayed because I felt like it was delayed because I wanted it then. Yeah. I wanted it then. Right. But then it was God's time. It was then. Yeah. I wasn't denied though. He let me out. Yeah. He came and answered my prayer, should I say. Yeah, praise God for that. Delayed but never denied.
But never denied. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing on how God operates. I think it's a way that it kind of wants, like, sometimes whenever there's a delay, there's always like you think that you're walking in a certain destination, but sometimes whenever we find ourselves going a different direction that we don't want to go to, mm-hmm. and then we surrender to that anyway, and out of obedience, we go there anyway, and then out of that obedience, you flourish and you reap the benefits of your obedience. Because I talk about obedience with the guys all the time, because obedience is sometimes misunderstood. Like, oh, we got to be obedient. But I want to do this and I want to do that. Yes, it's great to have goals and ambitions, mm-hmm. but sometimes you have to be obedient, and obedience doesn't feel good. No. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I always take it back with a parent. Like, whenever you or anyone wants to be obedient to a parent, it's usually not what you want to do, but it's what you have to do because it's what's best for you. Yeah. And I think when you start operating that way, where I'm like, you know what, God, I don't want to do this. This doesn't feel good. It kind of is uncomfortable. It kind of feels a little crazy for me, but this is where you want me. I'm going to be obedient to that. And when you get to that place of obedience is where you reap the benefits of your obedience, if that makes sense. Because sometimes obedience is going to not feel good. You know, your heavenly father is no different than your actual parent, because your parent wants better for you. You know, like I know that my dad wanted better for me, and he made me do some things that I didn't want to do as a kid. You know what I'm saying? But it benefited me because it molded me and shaped me to be the man that I am today. Definitely. You know, it's just, and I, as an older man, I always go back and to my father and I say, hey, Pops, like, I'm very grateful for you, man. Like, I remember when I was 13, having conversations with you about sex, having conversations about business, having conversations about life in general. I remember at 16, we had this conversation about mental health and how we didn't understand what mental health was because it was it was so stigmatized in our culture. Like, we were looked at as weak if we sat on a couch and talked to a complete stranger who called himself a therapist. You know what I mean? Like that was weak. Like, and my brother didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. My father didn't know better neither, because guess what? My grandfather, which is his father, wasn't equipped to understand what mental awareness was or mental health was, because it was something that was so stigmatized. Like, you had to be crazy to be talking to a shrink. Like, you're a man up. You fall, you get up, and you keep going. Like, you know, you got to be a man about things. And sometimes being a man about things does affect you because you internalize a lot of trauma. You know, we men do have feelings. We do have emotions. We just have to learn how to navigate through those emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that when it comes to obedience, when it comes to surrender, especially to your Heavenly Father, it's going to look different, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. But I feel that in those uncomfortable spaces is where God grows you. And I know that maybe He grew your faith when you were in a cell, feeling uncomfortable, not wanting to be there, and questioning God why you're in this season for X amount of time, and when is my time coming? You know, because you're always looking at the glass sometimes half empty instead of half full. Like, God, like, I'm not this bad person. I'm not this, animal that people painted me to be. I'm not this criminal that the state painted me to be. Yeah. And here I am trying to fight for my freedom, in a sense. And you did that, but with faith, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. And with the belief and hope that God was going to provide some way, somehow.
That's what kept me pushing. Like, kept me pushing, like,
right.
To know that God got something for me. This is not my destination.
Right.
I just had that deep down in my heart that this is not my destination.
Yeah.
Prison for 40 years is not my destination. And I just knew that. Like, I just knew that with at the bottom of my heart, that prison for 40 years is not my destination.
Yeah.
I was like, Lord, I don't know what it is that you have for me, but I know this ain't it.
Right.
And
that's a strong-minded person, like for you to have that mentality, for you not to break, you know what I'm saying, mm-hmm. and keep the faith. It shows your character. It shows what you're built out of, and God obviously saw that in you, where He made you cook a little bit longer. Yeah. You weren't ready to come out the oven yet. Yeah. He was still cooking you. He's like, yo, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. Because you ever taken out something out of the oven too soon and you tasted it and it didn't taste too good? You got to put it back in the oven, let it cook a little longer. And then once you get it out of there and you at the right time, it tastes good. That's what God sees in us. Like, sometimes we go through these seasons where we want to come out a little bit uncooked, and it's not going to taste right in life. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get back in the Word, and cook a little bit more in the Word. My mentor always tells me, he's like, listen, sometimes we're too premature to come out of a season to jump to the next one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. We do a lot of things prematurely because we're always wanting to jump on the next best thing, when sometimes God just wants you in that season a little longer. Because we tend to kind of tell ourselves as men that, I don't think God's going to utilize me where I'm at right now because I want to go there. But how you get there is ultimately how you're gonna, how you're gonna operate where you at now. Like, so your right now could determine your there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So
yeah.
So sometimes we just have to focus on our right now and not worry about our tomorrows when the present is so much important, because you have to be present with yourself, with your surroundings, and most importantly, present with the Lord.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, grasping on the fact that, hey, I got to be present with the Lord and figure out why he has me here. There's a reason in a season for everything, right? But
Yes, sir.
there's also a reason why he is still allowing me to cook a little longer here in this season. And maybe he's preparing, you guys that are listening, maybe you feel that you're stuck right now and you're feeling a little hopeless and you feel that it's over. It's never over until, as long as God wakes you up the next day and you got air.
There's a purpose.
There's definitely purpose in your life. There's
got
absolutely purpose in your life.
You got something for you.
Yeah, for sure.
There's something for
Because
you.
a lot of us, we get discouraged because some things just don't meet our expectations, and I feel that sometimes we set expectations in such a high standard that when we don't meet up to those standards, it's a letdown.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we're setting those standards so high, we kind of put God in the back burner, and God would allow things to happen, and then he'll shoulder tap you and say, "Are you ready to
For real.
to listen to me and see where I want you? Because you've been putting all these expectations about getting to places and spaces, and it's not happening for a reason.
Yeah.
It's because you got me back here. I'm supposed to be leading, and you're the one trying to lead me. And who are we to lead God to where we want to go?
For real.
And sometimes, it's the old cliche, God take the wheel. But at the end of the day, we have to do that.
Yeah.
We got to submit, and we got to surrender and say, hey, you know what, God? You're the navigator of my life. You're the author of my story. Take the pen. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we grab the pen from God, and wherever we put periods, he means to put commas. We can't put periods in certain chapters in our lives, because maybe God just wants to put a comma in there and
pause it for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and continue that chapter. You know, and I think a lot of us lose sight of that because we get caught up in the moment. Like, yo, what's next? I'm here, but I want to go there. How do I get there? And we lose sight of God in the process of trying to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's and the Bible tells us that all things work together. So it's like when you have your season of bad times, you have your season of good times.
Yeah.
You have your season of mediocre times, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But you just got to know without a shadow of a doubt that it's all working together for the good. Yeah. Especially you love the Lord. It's all working together.
Yeah, the Bible says.
So you can't lose that faith. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You definitely can't lose that faith. You just got to know that it's definitely all working together.
And it's just showing up every day.
Yeah.
I talk to the guys about it. Danny knows, like it's literally waking up, dying to yourself, picking up your cross and go. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we do a lousy job of that because we're human. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't wake up wanting to die to my flesh because I'm in my feelings, or I'm frustrated. I'm filled with anger or frustration. And in those moments, I'm reminded that, man, I want to let go of that bitterness. I want to let go of that frustration. I want to lead with grace and lead with love, because that's how God is leading me. Mm-hmm. So if I want to be anything close to Jesus, I need to lead with love, and I need to lead with grace. And whomever is around me, I have to be a blessing for those people around me. Just like how God blessed me with certain people in my life that got me to the places that I'm in today, I got to do that and pay it forward for other people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because God blessed me with a lot of different people around me trying to walk out my salvation. Like when I gave my life to Christ, I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to figure it out. I wasn't properly discipled, and it wasn't it was more me than the people around me, because I wasn't making it easier for them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to just do it my way. and try to find loopholes in Christianity, and that didn't work. And I found out real quick.
For real.
And so I think discipleship is, and that's a different topic for a different podcast, but discipleship is very important. And me and Danny talked about it and touched on it on our previous podcast. It's so important for men to be there for other men.
Yeah.
And that's why me and Danny always advocate about men need to get together at least once a week and talk some stuff out. Because we weren't built to do this life alone, my guy. You know what I'm saying? So we have this men's group on Mondays. I encourage anybody who's listening and viewing on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple, wherever you're listening to this, you know, take what Rob said to heart, because man, if God did it for Rob, he can do it for y'all. You better believe it 100%. If God says it, he settles it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I encourage you to get plugged into a solid group of dudes. You know, if you guys are trying to get plugged in, or in the fence about talking about your feelings and your vulnerabilities with other men, man, it's okay. Swallow your pride, leave the ego at the door, sit down with some guys and talk, man. It doesn't have to be Shakespearean neither, that you're reading out of the New King James Version of the Bible, thou art, thou dieth, and you guys don't even have to do that. Just sit down like me and Rob are doing right now. Sit on the couch and talk life, man. Talk experiences, talk perspectives. You never know whose life you're gonna touch by a simple hello.
Definitely.
A simple, yo, I got you. Or a simple, you know what, me too, man. I've been through that. And it just shifts people's perspectives, and it literally can liberate someone from their mental anguishes and burdens that they may have.
Everybody needs somebody.
Yeah, everybody needs somebody, man. So this was great. Thank you for sharing. It was inspiring. It was motivational for me. I hope that whomever listened out there, that they got encouraged, that they could share this with someone that may need to hear this, because we don't all got it together.
No.
But our Heavenly Father does. He has the plan. He has the blueprint to our lives. He's the architect. He's the writer and author of our stories. And it all starts with faith, as you mentioned prior. It starts with surrender. It starts with obedience. And obedience is going to feel and look a little different for all of us. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be the greatest, but it'll pay off in the long run for sure. So I'd like to thank you, my bro.
Definitely.
Hopefully it's not the last time you jump on here. You're more than welcome to come back again.
Back whenever you invite me.
Yeah, man, we could chop it up and talk about other things, bro. So thank you guys for listening. Again, if you're new to the show, check me out or check the podcast out on IG and all digital platforms. On Instagram it's Kingdom Talks _pod, and on all the other digital platforms it's Kingdom Talks. Till next time, guys, we love you. Peace.